Update 1.13 turned out to be as crazy, as big, massive as it was leaked roughly 1 week ago. We were able to make an episode about that as well, but we actually did not cover everything because it has some more things to offer. For example, is KV2 going to die, or is it going to be made better because of the HE changes? Many players would like to know. EBR 105, for example, where are you? Right over here, does not have 105 millimeters of penetration anymore. It was nerfed down to 75. We have many other buffs and nerfs over here as well, but today, ladies and gentlemen, because it is just such a crazy massive batch, we have to start step by step, and let's talk about, in this video I'm going to talk about the big massive mega epic fundamental changes to the HE and artillery. Well, artillery, it's more like counter RT a bit, and at the same time, some new shell types. They are actually going to split it in half as well. Part 1, Part 2. Part 1 talks about all that. What we are going to cover today. We have an article over here as well, featuring all the features, new features, and then the second video, what we're going to cover later with all the buffs and other new features like recon missions and stuff like that, new ranked battles, battle pass, and so on. But today, because you guys enjoy those type of videos very much, where we look at what they are saying, right, with our own commentary, because I have actually quite a lot to say about many of those things, many of those topics, so let's dive right into it together. And I do recommend you to watch it to the end, ladies and gentlemen, because we have some super big questions, right, with update 1.13, so I honestly want to know your opinion about that as well. And, as always, smack the living hell out of the subscribe button, slash it in half, set it on fire, ammo rack it, join the notification squad so you do not want to miss any future videos. I am going to make everything, I'm going to carve it out and paint it red and blue for you, ladies and gentlemen. Update 1.13, big things. Big episodes needs to be made. Right, let's go.
High explosive shells now cause damage directly at the point of impact. When contacting armor, a shell tries to penetrate it. If it fails to do so, it detonates. An explosion on the outer surface of the armor leads to the creation of spalls on the inner surface. These spalls then cause damage to the vehicle, internal modules, and crew. At the same time, the armor penetration and damage values of all shells remained the same, except for some wheeled vehicles,
which got nerfed.
With the new mechanics, there's a direct correlation between armor thickness at the point of impact and damage caused. The thicker the armor plate.
So, easy explanation right now, what we have on the live server. If you hit mouse into the face, it has very thick frontal plate with HE, right? It doesn't even try to penetrate that. It seeks for the weakest armor right there, 50mm thick, and it splashes into that 50mm armor, and you deal quite a massive damage into mouse's face actually because of that. And years ago, you were able to set mouse on fire like that, basically with every single shot, right? But now it hits where it hits, it tries to penetrate exactly that same point under exactly the same angle, and it does not seek for the weaker armor, and it deals damage based on the thickness of the impacted armor. Easy explanation.
At a point, the less damage an HE shell will inflict. The revamped HE shells can penetrate small obstacles and screens the same way that armor-piercing shells do. When interacting with an obstacle, they lose some of their armor penetration. If a shell pierces a screen and reaches the armor, it is guaranteed to cause damage. If it fails to penetrate the screen and doesn't reach armor, there will be
no damage, basically. Okay, so yes, shells can penetrate spaced armor, basically screens, spaced armor, and tracks, more about tracks in a second. If you do penetrate screen, then you deal guaranteed damage based on the same logic, you know, depends how thick of an armor was behind that. Maybe you're even able to penetrate that armor behind the screen and deal full damage, but this is once again very nicely shown. This is why I like to use those videos as well to explain stuff further to you, because many times they don't explain everything, but they showcase everything quite nicely.
No damage at all. It works the same way for tracks. If a shell penetrates a track but there's no armor in its way, there will be no damage caused. But
This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the big controversial things. I have a clip from the Sandbox server where I did hit T100LT, Tier 10 light tank, T100LT straight into the side tracks, exactly the same way, with 183. FE 4005 183, 183mm HESH round. I did hit the tracks. Nothing was behind it, and I did 0 damage. Absolutely no splash, no explosion, nothing. 0. I don't even remember if I was able to track that guy. Most likely not, just critical marker right there. But that's a bit controversial, isn't it? Like 183mm shell, which is basically as big as the tank, hitting the target, but nothing happens. That's a bit weird, but at the same time, now you can penetrate tracks,
HE shell pierces a track and reaches the armor, damage is guaranteed.
Boom.
For effective gameplay, you need to correctly use high explosive shells. Shooting at strong armor, thick screens, or gun mantlets won't be effective. Either the damage will be minimal or there will be no damage at all. You need to try to hit thinner armor while weighing the...
Yeah, exactly like previously. This is exactly like previously because, as I said, it calculates the impacted armor. It doesn't seek for the weakest armor. This is why hitting underneath the vehicle right now works the best, actually, versus heavily armored tanks. If you splash into the tracks underneath the vehicle, into the ground even, it seeks the weak armor in the bottom of the tank and it deals high damage. By the way, look at the damage rolls. This is the SU-152, right? It should be SU-152, 148 in the face, 122 in the face, and that deals normal damage, but that is 900 average damage gun, or 950.
Screens.
If I'm not mistaken.
At the same time, players in heavily armored vehicles will feel more confident when deliberately exposing thicker parts to enemy fire. If you like withstanding hits, you can do that against the new HE shells.
Oh yeah, E3 loves that.
You should no longer fear that several hits by high explosive shells will force you to retreat in disappointment. If a shell reaches armor, it is guaranteed to cause damage. This will increase the effectiveness of high explosive shells in situations when causing damage is more important than how much is caused. For example, if you need to finish off an enemy vehicle or stop a base capture. Many vehicles were significantly affected by the new calculation of high explosive damage. After the special super test, we decided to improve their characteristics.
Yes, indeed, and I am going to check those vehicles out as well, so once again, stay tuned if you want to see that, but they buffed Type 5 heavies and Type 4 heavies, both guns, the 14cm gun and 15cm howitzer. They added actually AP round to the howitzer as well. KV2 got quite big buffs to the accuracy, aiming time, engine power as well. Ooh, it's actually a bit less than in the leak. In the leak it shows 640, but or here 630. I wonder which is correct. Then Sheridan T49 got buffed, and let me guess, wheeled vehicles got nerfed, yes.
For high explosive shells, 75 millimeters.
Yes, all those vehicles, 75
The effectiveness of tanks and vehicles with
penetration.
howitzers that actively use high explosive shells in battles aren't significantly affected by the new mechanics. However, we'll continue to monitor the situation after the release and introduce changes if necessary. The new mechanics change the system of causing high explosive damage, but keep everything that players love about these shells. Ease of use, fun, and a high chance of causing damage. Naturally, the fine-tuning of high explosive shells will continue. At the update 1.13 common test will be a great opportunity for everyone who is not yet familiar with the changes to try them out.
Yes, it is definitely controversial, as I said. There are players who love it. Maybe I said that. Hopefully I said that. Anyway, if I haven't, there are players, according to my feedback, who love it, who want to see it as soon as possible. And there are players who do not want to see that. So which category do you place yourself? Do you want to see that? Do you not want to see that? I'm not against changes. I want to see how it works, actually. It definitely makes heavily armored tanks better, and some weaker, like... heavily armored tanks it makes better. Weaker tanks are going to be hit more because they still receive a lot of damage, and now they are getting penetrated through the tracks as well. So that's a bit problematic. Is it going to make heavily armored tanks too good versus HE now? like hull down guards, completely too good, who are not receiving damage even from the premium rounds. Yeah, it has some positive things, negative things definitely. But what do you think? Let me know. Next up, let's talk about artillery.
The combat situation has changed not only due to the new high explosive shells, but also due to the important transformation of artillery. Confrontations between SPG players and tank players have changed drastically. The latter now possess useful tools at their disposal for countering artillery, brighter SPG shell tracers, sound detection, and visualization of artillery impact points on the minimap.
I have such a huge
Another
pet
important
peeve with
fact is that the amount of stun has decreased significantly. This is mainly because the artillery arsenal now includes 3 different shell types, and only one of them can still cause stun. However, each shell has its own advantages. The first shell is a standard high explosive shell. It's the easiest to use, and it causes both damage and stun to groups of enemies. However, it doesn't cause any critical damage to internal modules or crew members if it doesn't penetrate. The second artillery shell is an alternative high explosive shell. Its burst radius is half that of a standard shell, and it doesn't stun opponents at all. At the same time, its armor penetration value is a bit higher than a standard shell's. Calculating damage caused by high explosive artillery shells remains the same, since they're not affected by the changes to the HE shell mechanics of other vehicle types. Finally, the third type of shell is tactical, and will either be an armor-piercing or a heat shell. It has the highest armor penetration value of all 3 shell types. Its damage upon penetration is higher than the damage of non-penetrating HE shells. It doesn't have a burst radius or stun. This is a situational shell suitable for targets that are not susceptible to HE shells. After sandbox testing, the damage values of some shells were increased for a number of vehicles. Each SPG was assessed individually based on its effectiveness during testing and the gameplay features of a particular vehicle.
Yeah.
You can find
all the gameplay features right over there. Okay, let's talk about the shells and damage. And him saying the stun was reduced significantly. Wargaming, I have so many comments about that, I don't even know where to start. Number 1, it is sandbox server, people are always testing out new things, only new things. Like me, I made episodes exclusively playing with Badget and AP or Heat, whatever that tank had, as an SPG. While the AP round is by far the most useless in this game. Your penetration can be even like, I don't know, 400. If you miss, you deal 0 damage. If you hit, roll dices again. Okay, so first up, roll dices. Are you going to hit? Oh yes, you did hit. Next up, roll dices again. Where you hit? Do you hit the tracks? Do you hit the edge of the turret? Into the turret? Do you hit just critical damage? You deal 0 damage. Nothing happens. While at the same time with the damage engagee, for example, the damage roll is basically the same if you hit and deal damage all the time with non-pen than AP round penetration. Do you get my point, guys? AP round has such a huge, crazy RNG to be able to penetrate or to be able to hit and penetrate the target in the first place. And then when you do, you deal such a little damage what HE round would have done versus any target with any hit without penetration. Do you get the point, right? And finally, you said stun is going to be reduced significantly. According to the questionnaires in the communities, Wargaming, many, I don't know, maybe like most of the player base, I don't know. Okay, let's just say many players are playing artillery for the artillery missions, where you need stun as the main mission, as the secondary mission. How are they able to complete stunning missions if they don't have stunning ammunition, loaded? So they're going to use this shell as their main shell anyway. And what this shell also does, it has burst radius, 2 times better burst radius. When I was testing out the damage engagee, when I missed the tank even slightly, the splash was non-existent. I missed the tank like 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters. Basically like The splash was non-existent with high explosive damage shell. You have to hit your shot with RT RNG. Are you willing to risk it? This splashes, deals damage like the old shell, you know. Also has stun, gets the stunning assistance, gets some extra experience and so on. Yes, has less damage, but 800 damage, non-penetration damage compared to the 1000 non-penetration damage, ladies and gentlemen. In reality is like 50 extra splash. This is just my personal opinion. I honestly do not think anything is going to change. At first, yes, of course, in the first month maybe, first 30 days, first month, people are going to test on the live server, people are going to test the damaging HG, AP round for the memes. For the love of God, please, everyone play with AP round because it is tactical. Or, you know, please do that. I would love to be in a battle knowing that I have only 10% chance to receive damage from an artillery, right? Anyway, I don't see anything being different with those shells. I still think when everyone gets used to it, stunning HE is going to be the main type of HE. I hope I am wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I see all type of HEs or all type of shells on the battlefield. But I don't think this is going to be the case. Shell trajectory, just quickly showcasing what that is over here. Like this is the standard stunning HE, has the best trajectory than the damaging HE, has a bit lower, and AP round has even lower shell trajectory.
An indicator next to the reticle will show which shell...
Oh, this is how they help artillery gameplay. You know, how to make it easier.
Type is currently loaded,
yes, they're actually
as well
making
as its
it
flight
easier.
time. Another indicator will help players understand whether a shell will reach the targeted location. If the indicator is green, you are able to hit the location. If the indicator is red, there is an obstacle in the way. You can also switch modes from top view to trajectory view by scrolling the mouse wheel. These changes make playing artillery more enjoyable and help you better plan your next shot. Quickly switching shell types will help you react in time to changing combat situations. This is thanks to the updated intuition skill. It helps quickly change the shell loaded. When fully trained, intuition plus the commander bonus accelerates reloading by 66%. You can boost it even more by using bonuses from Brothers in Arms, food consumables, improved ventilation, and direct.
Improved ventilation. I almost joked over here. Improved ventilation and directive on artillery. Please use it. You heard it here first.
Intuition will really help when you suddenly have an advantageous opportunity to fire another shell type.
It does help.
The updated intuition skill works for regular vehicles as well.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
selecting
Look
a
at the reload
suitable
time.
shell will be more convenient.
Pew!
The new system of 3
Deleted.
artillery shells will reduce the total amount of stun because only one of the 3 shells can
Will
cause
reduce
stun.
the total amount of stun. I want to see that. I want this to be true. I have my doubts.
This will let you act more confidently, especially when using the new tools to counter artillery.
Okay. Here
The
we go.
first noticeable new feature is that artillery shell tracers are much brighter.
Yes,
they help
it is.
approximate from where an SPG shot came from and which
It
spots
helps.
it can and
It
can't
helps
hit.
a lot.
This information makes choosing cover where artillery can't reach you easier. Additionally, the tracers can also help you identify a more precise location of an SPG. Your attention to detail will be rewarded. The bright and easily distinguishable tracers are complemented by a brand new sound detection commander skill. It provides warning of...
And here we go. The biggest pet peeve with that new artillery system, actually. Which seems to be just, I don't know. Is it a cash grab? What is it, Wargaming? Please, explain me. Are complemented by a brand new sound detection commander skill. Commander skill, right? Okay.
Of incoming enemy SPG fire. If your vehicle is in the impact area at the moment when artillery fires, you will see a special indicator showing the direction of fire. This is a signal indicating that a shell is flying towards your vehicle, and you should change your position. This way, you can significantly reduce the amount of damage received, if not avoid taking damage completely. Monitoring the minimap has always been crucial in battle. Now it provides even more
Okay, this is talking about the next thing, which is absolutely fantastic. I love the next thing, but let's go back to this. I have where to start? Okay, first up,
packed area at the moment when artillery.
First up, this is going to be useless. In 90% of the cases, it is going to be useless. How they are showcasing it over here is actually so freaking bad. I guess they built completely new map for this, just to put artillery 10 kilometers away, what we are not able to get on the standard battles. Standard battle maps are way shorter, the reaction time is way shorter, and they do not think about any reaction times over here. They do not think about any combat situations over here. Because in reality, people are in action, they are fighting, they are focusing somewhere else. Maybe some take like 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds time to react. But those guys over here are literally waiting for this indicator. Like they know artillery is going to fire and they are ready to move right away. And you can see from how far that artillery shell is actually coming in from. Alright, so that's the first thing. Secondly, artillery has such a huge circle, hit circle, you know. Yes, you may react to it, you may move a bit, but you know, artillery is not pinpoint accurate. Maybe you move directly into the shell, so moving also does not matter. You know, like artillery shell flies a bit short to the edge of the aiming circle, but you moved forward, so basically you compensated for the bad RNG and you catched it with your vehicle. If you catch my drift. Now,
fire. This is
all those things. Nice. All those things still would help, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say you are behind the cover, you are peeking, you see that indicator, you pull back. Beautiful. You save some hit points, you still get splashed, but a bit less, if you are fast enough. But in actual battle situations, what are you going to do with this skill, guys? If artillery is 1 second flight time away, shell flight time away, 1 second flight time away. Is that going to make any difference? No, I can tell you that right now. And let's talk about the worst thing. They said artillery skill. Yes, they are not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. They said artillery skill, and you may think it might be somewhere over here already researched. No. It is not over here. Where is it then? It is over here under the commander. Under the commander who is under such a heavy pressure already. Brothers in arms, 6 cents, recon, must have, repairs, jack of all trades. If your commander is loader, save stowage many times. I don't know, do you want eagle eye? Maybe eagle eye, you know, camo, all those things. We have commanders. We have tanks where we have 2 crew members. So commander is under even crazier pressure. Has to do radio operator, gunning, snapshot. You know, I have no snapshot over here because I need to maximize my view range. Camo 6 cents, brothers in arms. And you want me to do this as well. No, thank you. It didn't come free. So the only way how you're able to use it, ladies and gentlemen, is let's freaking reset for 200 gold. Let's reset all our skills for 200 gold because it is not implemented into the game for free. Well, it is free, but you have to use gold to use it on your well-trained crews. And this is the only crew where you are able to use it. It is not going to be more important than 6 cents, brothers in arms, situational awareness, recon. It is... And it comes into effect after it reaches 100%. Imagine me picking it as 6th skill. If I would pick it today, and I would play this tank every single day, at the end of the year I still would not have enough experience to get that skill. Mini rant over. I would not be ranting at all. I would say, hey, good job, thank you. It is almost useless, but still thank you. It's useless, but I thank you for that. Right? For giving it for free on every single commander. But no, I actually have to retrain my crew members because I am never going to pick that skill on my 1, 2, 3 skilled commanders.
Signal indicating that a shell is flying towards your vehicle.
We can actually literally skip. We can literally skip this area right here. Let's talk about very good countermeasure. Absolutely
has always
amazing.
Been crucial in battle. Now it provides even more tactical information.
Minimap.
You can now see markers depicting artillery shell hits. A special marker in the shape of a circle with a dot at the center will appear at an artillery shell's point of impact.
Right here. It is just, guys, it is so good. So many times, like in a heavy tank, for example, I find myself in a situation I want to push in, but I am not sure if arty-fired or not. I'm always looking around. I'm actually looking around. Is any of my teammates stunned? Can I move on? Have I heard any artillery explosions and so on? But this makes it so much easier. As soon as I see this ring appearing on the minimap, I know where arty fired, or I know that arty fired at all, you know? And now I know I have 20 to 40 seconds to reposition without having to worry about artillery getting stunned, getting tracked, getting set on fire, and so on. It is so freaking useful, and the minimap, definitely extra feature for the mini-map. Love it. This is what I love.
Disappears after 10 seconds. But it's enough to understand that one enemy SPG prefers firing at the other flank, and the second is now reloading. This means you can attack your flank without fear.
Exactly.
All this provides new opportunities. After the changes, artillery received more ways of adjusting to different combat situations. You can select a more suitable shell type.
I'm a bit skeptical, you know, once again. Okay, they are going over everything once again. They are going all the things. Intuition perk is nice. New shells on artillery are nice, but I'm skeptical. Are they going to use it? Because of the missions, because of the stunning missions, because of all those things, I think it is going to, at the end of the day, it is going to be the same. This thing, hey, hooray, absolutely, would have been fantastic addition if you actually freaking made it for free, not like 200 gold reset on your 5 skilled commander, if I even would use it on that. But for videos, I'm definitely going to test it out, so stay tuned for that. AG changes, guys, a lot to digest. Let me know what you think about this first part, because as I said, there is going to be second part to this as well. I'm going to cover all the things. I'm going to play with buffed nerfed vehicles, so you can definitely smack the subscribe button or gently touch it, you know, gently rub it maybe a little bit, see what it says. It says when I upload next video. Easy. Hit the like button if you enjoy my stuff. Hit the dislike button. Honestly, do that. Do something, guys. Do freaking something. Dislike or like. Make up your mind. Do something. Click one of those things, okay? And I'll get you next time. Take care, stay sexy, and bye.